Alright, welcome everybody. This is pretty exciting. I get to demo for you guys possibly the most advanced tool that I've built so far with AI. So I'm just going to pull out the link to chat with it. And now what this is going to do is basically help you design a character and then spit it out into a Google Doc as you work. So, for example, I'd like to name a character. And it's just going to kind of give you a generic message just asking for more information. I've got a little template right here that I've been working on. My character is a robot detective in the year 2610. Since he was built 574 years ago, both his design and his mindset are old-fashioned. He's been able to live like this for so long because he works in a small town with humans who keep up outdated systems just for him. And his story is about a unique case that forces him to confront the rapidly changing world and adapt to survive. So, you know, something not too crazy, but like, you know, a good let's do serial designation names. You know, nothing too crazy, but something that might have some interesting applications to what's going on with the AI revolution, ironically enough. Since we're working with AI right now. So now what it should be doing here is taking what we've told it about our character and then plugging it into, yep, here it is. So what it did was it basically took what we have said about the character and it has plugged it into a prompt template that I have in a Google Sheet. Inquisitor. Star Wars, anyone? Yeah. Personally, I've found that acronyms are better for naming plot devices than characters. But, you know, since AI is really good at acronyms, for example, let's look at RECAP, Robot Engineered for Criminal Analysis and Pursuit. It's actually kind of a bland one, bad example. Classical logic, analytical system. See, that's awesome. And so ChatGPT is like good enough at acronyms that I figured I'd throw it into this prompt template that you use whenever you name Seraph is a fun idea. Benton sounds pretty cool. Let's do let's do Benton. And I'm mostly just doing this so, you know, you can see, can you make the Google Doc so we can get started? I only changed the spelling of Benton a little bit, so then, you know, you can see if... See, it's not sensitive to, like, the AI can do it can name the character whatever you want. It doesn't have to strictly be an idea that it gave to you. You can twist it or combine it with other ideas that it gave you and stuff like that. So let's have a look at this character profile. Yeah, it just says his name and the thread ID, which is very important. Do not touch that. The AI will need it later. And I'll just pop back in the chat. Looks great. Can you design his... Can you give me his personality types? Now what it's going to do, just to start with, is it's going to pull an MBTI, an Enneagram, and the hero within personality type, so we can get like a full idea of kind of how he works. So problem solving, he values tradition and upholds the rules he was programmed with while adapting to the new challenges of a modern world. His nature allows him to observe and... Yeah, so, you know, pretty general, but I found that we don't really need anything too wild in the personality types category. So, and by the way, MBTI and Enneagram, just for those of you who are curious, those are well-known personality tests in the field of psychology. The Hero Within is a book with a couple of personality types that are specifically tailored to fiction writing and to designing characters. So I'll just say looks great. Add it to the Google Doc. And we should see that it kind of just goes ahead and does that. Okay. Perfect. And there we go. Personality types for Benton. Alright. Let's design his dialogue style. By the way, this is supposed to be like in kind of a chronological order. Oh wait, no, his bio sheet comes first. Bio sheet. Use the prompt template. Oh, do. And I'm just saying that because the system's a little quirky with its prompt template for some reason. I've noticed that it doesn't always go exactly to that format and those details. So generally you would want it to do that is what I've found. Anyway, here we go. Here we go. Now let's have a look here, because this is generally the step in the process with the most things that I want to change about what the AI gives me. So, makes sense. 300 pounds. He is metal, so. Vintage, blocky, metallic body with intricate mechanical joints. His face features a screen displaying simple emotions with a pair of expressive LED eyes. His design incorporates elements reminiscent of early 21st century robotics, showcasing an array of panels. Okay, I do like this, actually. There's one or two things I want to change there, but let's see. Please regenerate this. Keep everything exactly the same with these revisions. Typically, I've found AI responds pretty well to mechanical words like exactly. So, makes sense. Greatest fear. Makes sense. Emotional detachment is essential for effective problem solving. That's an interesting misbelief. Typically, the misbelief section is one that you want to pay close attention to, because that is what's going to shape your character's arc more than anything. And so, a lot of times, I will kind of reply to this message just by saying, okay, I like this, but I'm not sure about the misbelief. Can you give me 10 ideas for what the misbelief could be? So that way I can pick one of those instead. So, what happened? This character's past. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. Love language. Response to emotional pain. Isolating himself further when. I've noticed that responses in this section can be a little samey, so, pay attention to that. Although, it doesn't really affect the first draft all that much, because I don't feed it directly into the process. So, a lot of this stuff I don't. Honestly, it's mostly just brainstorming. Top 3 values. Object he can't bear to part with, and why. Okay. Now this section, a lot of times I won't use this in my final ideas at all. I just put it in there in the format just so you can kind of have that, idea, because I've occasionally gotten some pretty interesting ideas come from that. So, typical outfit description makes sense. Method of getting what he wants from others. Sure, okay, yeah. Let's see. Here we go. resembling the IG units droids in Star Wars. Everything else is the same. He still has the screen face. Etc. The screen face is a cool idea. I love doing that with robots because I don't know if you guys have ever seen that kind of a feature on, for example, in Murder Drones or in Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur or something like that, but it has a fun way of... Oh, that's interesting. Let's see if it actually made the revisions before adding it. Okay. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. I like this. Alright. Great. Let's design his dialogue style next. Give me a specific actually Batten has a South African accent and a occasional sides full of technical jargon. Now I add these details specifically because he's not my bishop, but he's like another bishop in my stake has a South African accent that just sounds so freaking cool. It sounds so cool, guys. And occasional asides full of technical jargon. That kind of, I kind of feel like that has potential for some funny moments, which are always great if they're, you know, unintended by the characters. And you know, I think that would be a very welcome addition to a story with, you know, a theme that is so relevant to the times. And so let's see what it kind of gives us here. All right. Sentence structure. Interesting. the circuits of antiquity. What the crap? I mean, yeah, again, not all of this I'm going to use. And, not all of it is stuff that I even plug into the first draft creation workflow anyway, so it's fine. But let's just say, looks great, add it to the Google Doc. I would like it also if it could, suggest the next step in the workflow after it tells you that it added it to the Google Doc, so then it could help guide users that aren't really sure. Yeah, see, it does it occasionally. Shall we flesh out his goals and motives? Which we can totally do, but you guys kind of like get the flow of this chatbot at this point. So I think I might call the demo here. Just if only I could integrate the emotional variables. Yeah. Okay, so there's my demo, guys, for the character designer. It's not without its quirks, For example, I did want it to be able to recall the document ID and thread ID of a character if you give it its name. So for example, theoretically, I should be able to refresh the chat and then say, I'd like to continue designing Betton's character. Please retrieve the IDs so we can continue. And I'll just let it think about it. What it's supposed to do is pick up there we go. See, the document ID is what allows it to identify this document, so it knows which document to throw additions into. And the thread ID, which I have put inside the document, that's this little bit up here. This is what allows the chatbot to remember what you have created of this character so far. So, both very important pieces of data. The problem is that once you try to continue designing the character, it won't work. And I haven't figured out why that doesn't work yet. So make sure you design your character from start to finish in that one chat, and you shouldn't have any problems. So that's all I can really say as of this version. So, but yeah, currently I'd like to keep this, between me and my family, just because, it would need to connect to your Google Docs account, and it will need to, and and also it's not even capable of that much, and even if it was, I don't know how much extra usage I can afford just yet. So, this is kind of just like showing you what it's capable of for now, and down the road maybe I'll have something more powerful that I am able to offer a little more freely. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and keep rocking.